welcome back. We're back on the show. James is not with me because he was at the game, that lucky guy. I'm running the technology today, so please pray for me. It's a good God. I don't know. I've got Austin with me. How are you, Austin?
Other than this game, I was doing well, but after this game, it's been rough.
Yeah. I so if anyone doesn't know, we've lost 3-1 to Manchester United. What I realized halfway through is that we're not used to losing games. And in the championship, having lost 2 games in the league, so this is a weird feeling. We've come off from Aston Villa with a loss. That was a funky one, though. That was a weird one.
Yep.
That one, we were the better side. We should have won. So having this result, this was completely different. And going into this, we saw so many changes. We saw 4 changes, but the formations were changed too. How'd you feel today?
It was interesting waking up and seeing the news because I was like, I didn't expect much change. I thought Ash was going to come in, so I did kind of expect that one. But other than that, I thought we were going to stick with what we were doing. And looking at, I mean, we were sitting there for 30 minutes trying to figure out what formation we're going to play. Then we started the game. We're still trying to. I don't think I needed formation until 30 minutes into the game, and then it just nothing today just seemed to work. I mean, there was barely an aspect of our game that worked today.
Yeah, it was super weird, and obviously it's unfortunate we have some injuries. Hannah Kane and Shannon O'Brien was on the bench, so I'm not sure if she picked something up. Sophie Barker as well. Just players that we really missed today, I find. And it just, I don't even know how to put it. It's still trying to process the fact that we just lost, and that sucks. And like I said, us fans aren't used to it, but the players clearly aren't used to it either. It just really sucks. But I mean, it's on to the next one, I guess. It's what we have to keep saying. You can tell that they're still trying to figure things out. Like you said, the formation was completely different. I felt like Flint was so far back compared to usual, which I just feel like that was difficult to watch in a way. Not to watch, but because she's really good in that position, but I really wanted her to get up there and get to those goal-scoring positions because she would have put so many in if she was able to get into those spots, but it felt like that just was not happening. And it just, nothing seemed to work.
I mean, there was times after corners where she was the last defender.
Yeah.
That was how weird today was.
She was like falling back. Esme DeGraaf was like way up there. I was like, what? What's going on? What is happening here? I can't even figure out like what to say because today just really threw me off. Things were really weird. It was even hard to tell which formation we were playing in at certain points. Like, I kept seeing different graphics going out. I don't know.
I think I settled on 4-3 or 4-2-3-1, but I don't know. We probably played 4 different formations. It seemed like today. Thought we were playing a 3 back at once. Thought we were playing 5 back at once. I swear there was times we looked like we were playing 6 in the back. Like I just had no idea what was going on, and it just seemed like they didn't either.
Nah, it was weird. But I do have to give credit, even though we did concede 3, Kirsty Lavelle was outstanding and saved our butts so many times. She was definitely a standout player for me personally. I don't know who stood out for you, Austin, but I have to give it to Kirsty today.
Tosh was good. When the few opportunities she had that one shot. I think it was 10 minutes into the game that she had a shot on her left foot, and I don't know how much. I mean, it's crazy how much power she has on her left. Curled around and took a really good save. Obviously, the bad injury happened right after, but I mean, Lavelle, she would have had 7 saves, I think. I mean, they had 33 shots. 33. I haven't seen that many in a long time, and I mean, she kept us into that game, especially at the end. We were so open going for that second goal. It was constant. They would have 2 attackers versus 2 defenders, and she would have to bail us out pretty much every time.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't even know really what to say because I'm so thrown off by everything. Now my camera's thrown off too. It's not focusing on me. There we go. Yeah, we had some good moments. We did get on those counterattacks, but unfortunately we weren't able to do anything with them. I do have to give it to United's keeper at, I think it was near the end there. She made a really good save.
It was off Molly Pike.
Yeah, Molly Pike. That's who it was. I couldn't remember who it was because it was from Flint to Pike, but I kept getting those two mixed up with who did what. But that was a great save, and I have to give that to her. I wish it went in. I really did. I'm not gonna lie. I was sitting there thinking, last time we played United, it was 3-2. We came back and we took that lead. So when they were 2 up, I was like, hey, it's possible. Maybe we can still come back and get that 3-2. But it ended in a 3-1 loss. But United stepped up. They have Leah Galton back, who's a massive threat. Ella Toon's always a huge threat. And I just want to say I hope Millie Turner is okay. That looked pretty rough. I'm hoping that it looked worse than it actually is and that she's doing well. So, but overall, I feel like this isn't going to be a super long show because I'm still just really lost with everything. Like I said, I think it's just honestly shock. But what can
we had like a 10-minute period after halftime after the second goal where we looked pretty good and we looked like we were going to score with a Pike chance. And if that ball goes in, we scored 10 minutes later, it's 2-2. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a totally different game. And I think we were talking about it before. This is only the second time I've been on here after a loss. Like, I mean, as far as I can remember, I think we've lost in the league. This would be our 4th loss in 2 years. Like, this, I mean, we knew we were gonna lose this season, but it was just like, it's one thing when you lose and you feel like you could have won the game like we did last week. Yeah, you were just frustrated last week because we felt like we should have won and we should have at least got a point. And just today, it was just kind of a disappointment because first game at home, you thought we were gonna really come out, and it was shaky at the start. Like they just kind of controlled us. We didn't feel, we were just not crisp at all. We were sloppy, and then we didn't feel like we were going to score at all in the first half. And it was just, I mean, it was just not the Leicester City we've been used to seeing.
No, it was really, it's not what we're used to. And I think that's why I'm struggling so much to talk about it, because I'm used to just sitting here being like, this was amazing, this was amazing, this goal was great, but it didn't happen today, which it was bound to happen. It could have happened last season. It could have happened this season. It can happen again. It might not. We don't know. It's hard to tell. And I think that being in this new league, we're still trying to figure things out. And that showed with the formation today a bit, and having fans back too. That's something that the players didn't get to experience last season, was having fans in the stands. And I shout out to all the fans that were at the game. You lucky guys. I mean, even though it's a lot. Sorry?
I said, get us out of North America.
Yeah, get us on a plane. If people want to start a GoFundMe, get us off of this screen and get us there. But yeah, overall, I was so excited to hear the goal song when we scored. I was like, yes.
We didn't even know it was a goal for a while.
And they got clappers and everything. I think the club's doing a great job on that level. We saw almost 4,500 people attending. That's awesome. You know, that's at the Aston Villa game. I believe the crowd size was 743. So that's really amazing. And it's awesome. Support your women's team. Just go for it. It's the same club. Do it. It's so cheap. Look at how cheap it is to go to the games. £8. And I think a season ticket is like 40 something. Yeah. Like it looks like it could be fun. I don't know. At a school, I would have fun if I were there. But and the crowd was pretty good. There were moments where we weren't able to hear too much because of the stream, but we heard them loud and clear after Abby McManus scored. So let's take a minute to talk about Abby McManus. The thrill of a former United player scoring against Manchester United. Austin, how did you feel?
I mean, I was excited because I was like, okay, we just got a goal. We're going to go for it now. Like, this is coming in when no matter what sport you play, no matter what level you play, if you played on another team, you just want to do well against your old team. It's just how you are, or maybe a rival. And when you come from United with all of their problems they had at the end of last year, and you come in and score, and hopefully you think that you're going to lead on a comeback. And sadly that didn't come, but I was happy for Abby, even though we didn't know his goal for about a minute because I don't believe there's GDS. So I'm definitely happy for her to get her first goal in Leicester City Blue.
Yeah, absolutely. I had no idea that we scored until the commentator said something about it, and I was like, wait, because I could not see anything because everyone was just in like a giant cluster, it looked like. And as soon as it was given, I was super happy. But then I was like, who scored? I can't tell who it could have been. And Abby McManus was not someone I was expecting to be that goal scorer. Being a defender, it's just not super common. But she got in there and she really did perform a club. I'm happy with that. It's unfortunate we weren't able to get more in. Like you said, Molly Pike had a really good chance near the end there. Flint had her left foot. That was great. Unable to make that save. But the match is over. We take some, we lose some. I'm sure it was great for the girls to play at the KingPower. I mean, seeing the pictures of the change room where all their kits were, I was so happy about that. I was like, that's awesome. These players are getting like treatment the same as the men's side, it looked like. So that was really cool to see, and I'm hoping that it felt great for them as well, especially having fans back.
And especially for Ash getting to captain the side today. I was super happy to see that with her being a Leicester girl, and it was just great to see that. I mean, I like her as captain. Obviously, we want Sophie back. We want Sophie Barker healthy. You don't like the situation of why she's captain, but I'm so happy to see her captain today.
Yeah, Ash is all around just a great person. I was not surprised at all when we saw her getting that armband and when it was announced at the start of the season. But her save off the line, like even though we lost, she still made that crazy save near the end there. That I was so happy to see. I was thrilled. It's just really unfortunate that today did not seem like their day and things just kind of seemed a little. I don't like saying anything negative. I know these players. I like it's hard, but yeah, I know that they can be a really strong side. But today, it just the weaknesses were exposed. Which, like, what can you do? There's not too
Yeah,
much you can do. So
you just gotta move on, go to the next team. That's
yeah,
about it.
exactly. Move on to the next one, like the typical Instagram posts from who's it, Harry Maguire. On to the next one.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, disappointed with the result, but on to the next one. I'm hoping that they come back strong. But speaking of the next ones, we have a very tough run up ahead of us.
This is not fun looking at it. We do have a week off, I believe. I think we play West Ham in 2 weeks. I can't fully think if we got a Conti Cup this weekend, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean we got West Ham, which they drew against Villa, so that we could. I kind of like our chances there. Then after that we go Tottenham, Chelsea, and City. And then we got Brighton after that. Brighton just won 5-0 today. Like this October is not going to be easy, and it's going to be a test to how this team comes back and after this loss, and got to find that confidence that we know this team possesses and that we saw all last year. I mean, they were just I mean, we didn't go into one game last year like, oh, we're going to win this. I mean, that was every game. It was like, we're going to win. It's just a matter of how much. And if they can get that confidence back, and then you can really see this team take off.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's really hard to judge things at the start of the season, obviously, because you're still trying to like settle things in. And we saw that as well with other clubs. And if you look at the championship, that first weekend was super duper weird. Like just clubs you don't expect to win winning games. And it's the same's happening in the WSL. I did not expect Brighton to put 5 in today. I did not expect Everton to be as rough as they have been. So, and yeah, we have all these difficult opponents coming up. We've also got Manchester City in the FA Cup on the 29th. I'm so happy that that's a 12 p.m. kickoff for me. Thank you. Don't have to get up early.
Not for me, because it's midweek for me.
Oh.
Ugh.
But I definitely think that we could help challenge these opponents. It's really hard to say right now because we're coming off of Aston Villa and then Manchester United, and now we're going up to Manchester City, Everton, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs. I believe those are all within the next few fixtures. And it's really hard to say what we could expect because I feel like Leicester's also a super unpredictable team. I believe last time we faced City was in the Conti Cup, and that was a 2-1 loss.
Yep.
That's not a horrible loss, especially considering we were a championship side against league champions. And last time we faced United, 3-2, no one was expecting us to win that one. And we did. Unfortunately, we weren't able to this time, but it's a different scenario. It's a completely different situation. It's not a cup anymore. We're in the league. We're in the top division. It's going to be different. And it's definitely changing a lot. We've got a new ground, a new league. We've got new players coming in. Things are obviously still adjusting. So it's hard to say how I think we'll do in the next match. Of course, I want to sit here and say, oh, you know what, I'm super duper confident. But like I said earlier, this season, it seems like it's anyone's game. Brighton's showing up. Arsenal are showing up. And Arsenal last season were not amazing. Now they're stepping up a ton. It's just so hard to predict what could happen. I did not predict Aston Villa to be taking off the way they have, especially with last season, how they were. I did not see that coming. So it's so unpredictable.
Yeah, it's just how the league is. It's that disparity that used to be there. It's just not there. I mean, we were talking about Everton being a top 3 team, and they go out there and lose their first 2 games by 8 goal difference. You just don't expect it, and it's just we're gonna have our days where we show up and look really, really good. We look like a WSL side, and we're gonna have days like today where we just don't look up to it and just had a bad day. And I think that's a good thing. We were in this game for parts, and we had a bad day. So when we can, and then that first half against Villa, we had a really, really good first half, looked like ourselves, and we had a bad. We didn't even have a bad second half. We had a bad 2 minutes against Villa, and we lost. So it shows you that when you're bad, you're going to get punished in this league. But we know when this team gets to themselves and is really good, we can definitely compete in this league.
Yeah, I definitely think that we can. I'm wondering if we're anything like the men's side, like we struggle against teams like Villa and stuff like that, and then we show up against the big guys. But it's really hard to tell. So I'm just wondering, Austin, is there anything that you'd want to see kind of changed up going into our next match, whether anything, like whether it's formations or someone you'd like to see more of, or just keep things how it is?
I mean, if I was talking to John, I would want him to look at whatever we did today and just throw it out the window. Like, let's not replicate what we did today. It did not work. Let's try to figure out what we did so well in that first half against Villa and how we looked so good. And I think we've always been better with 3 at the back and 2 wing backs. I just think that's how we always been. And then hopefully getting O'Brien back and Kane back and Barker back. And so hopefully when we get these players back, we can go back to how we normally play. He could have changed it today because we didn't have those players. I mean, we saw Mackenzie Smith come on. She was 17.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just don't know if it's due to not having. Obviously, we don't have our preferred players in their preferred position, but just try to go back to what we do so well and just throw this whole game out. You just have to put it in the back of your head.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. Like, it's hard to say much about what happened today, considering we don't know why they took the formations that they did. They had injuries. There's only so much you can do. Like, what else could you do? A player, I know that James, if he's watching or if he watches this later, is going to come in and say, oh, surprise, surprise, Hannah's saying this, but I'd love to see more of Charlie Devlin. I found that when she came on here before halftime, she made an impact instantly, and she was getting in there and she was helping create chances. But it is like, you never know what's going to happen. You can never really predict how a player's going to perform until it's been the first however many minutes. So, like I said, we don't know the situation. We don't know what injuries are looking like or anything else that we obviously aren't aware of. I said it on the last episode. I'm not an expert on formations. I'm not an expert on tactics or anything by any means. But like you said, today just did not seem to work out. And it ended in a loss. So
yeah, I mean, what can you do? You just gotta, you can't go. It's not FIFA. You can't hit reset. You can't play it again. You just gotta move on and go to the next game.
yeah, like I keep saying, this is so hard to record and to have conversation about because I'm not used to this. It's weird, but I know that we have a phenomenal group of players and they're a phenomenal team of people, and they're going to want to come back from this. They're going to want to go and make something big out of this. And it's just really unfortunate that this is how it ended, but it's like, it is what it is. We've got a comment here saying that Man U different class, we were just outplayed. Yeah, United came in ready to just take the win, and I'm sure we did too, but clearly there was stuff happening for us to have to change things up so much that it just ended up not working out.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about Brendan sometimes sticking to one thing for too long. I just felt like today, Jonathan, maybe, I mean, obviously he didn't stick with stuff because it wasn't looking good, but it's just like we were just changing so much, and sometimes as a player, you're like, okay, what am I actually supposed to do? He's like, 10 minutes I'm doing this, 10 minutes I'm doing that, and I just felt like we just weren't on one page as a team and on the touchline.
Yeah, it didn't work. That's really all we can say, but there were positives, of course, but like, unfortunately we got that loss. Like I said, Kirsty Lavelle really stood out despite the fact that United managed to score goals. She saved so many. We could have lost far worse had she not been there, but she was there. And like I said before, that's my player of the match, despite the fact that goals were conceded. I feel like goalkeepers, like, it's so difficult. We tend to forget about goalkeepers, but today she was just making some saves that I was like, that's good.
And I think, I mean, she wasn't at fault in any of the goals. The first goal was just a really good shot from Ella Toon. I don't think we closed her down well, but it was a really good shot. The second one was off of a header that just bounced off the line. I mean, just lucky bounce right to Thor's daughter. And then third one was, again, just the unlucky bounce right to a United player. I mean, she just couldn't do anything about this.
Yeah. It seems that the goals that we've conceded between Villa and United have just been super unlucky. Besides that Ella Toon one, like that one, there's nothing you can do there.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what it is that's not working exactly, but like I said, it's obviously things have changed so much with the new league, new everything, that you kind of have to make so many changes to figure out what works. But today was one of those days where we saw it just did not work. And we've sat here for like 25 minutes just saying, I feel so bad for everyone watching. Like, I know I'm not saying much. I don't know what to make of this. It was just really not our day. That's all we can really say. So
it's just not a weekend, even with the men's.
Even with the men's, yeah. I forgot about that. Thanks, Austin.
Yeah.
It just was not our weekend. So I think it's safe to wrap things up. It wasn't our greatest day, obviously. We're on to the next one. We go to the next one. Hopefully obviously we're going to see differences and we're going to see changes. It's going to be a difficult run coming up, but I believe we can make something out of it. I really do. It's just so hard to make any type of predictions or anything going into something like this. Like, it's last game was so different from this game. How can I predict what's going to happen in the next game? So, do you have any final thoughts, Austin?
Well, I will say, let's hope next game is way different than this game. Let's hope it's on the other end of the spectrum. But I mean, you don't make predictions; it's kind of well known. But I will predict we will win next week against West Ham. It's got to come. We can't go 0 for 3. We're far too good of a team to do that.
Austin, you're saying words I would never be able to say. I could never do it.
We got to end this optimistically, Hannah. Say we're going to win.
I said I believe in us. That's optimism. But, I said we were going to win on the United channel, and I'm sure that they're probably going to message me or something. So that's why I don't do predictions. But, yeah, I ended my streak. I made a single prediction and got it right, and then I made another one and I messed it all up. So I'm back to never doing it again. But, yeah. Thanks so much, Austin, for coming on, and thank you so much to everyone who took the time to watch, even though it was probably not the greatest watching me struggle to come up with things to say. But, yeah, it was just unfortunate. We go on to the next one. We'll see how that one goes. I'm trying to remember if we have an FA Cup first or a league fixture, but I believe it is Man City next. I could be wrong. It could be West Ham. The schedule has
we have 2 weeks off until West Ham.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there we go. Perfect. So thanks so much everyone for watching. James, I hope you had a great time at the game. Anyone else who was at the game, I hope it was a great experience despite the loss. We are up for a football content award. You can vote for us there's a guide in the description down below. You can tweet us saying I am voting for at Beyond the 90 Women, LCFC Women for hashtag BestInWomensFootball, or you can vote via the link in the description down below. I'm never going to get used to where I need to point. The screen changes my size all the time. Down in the description, you can vote for us there. Memphis is an amazing charity. Go check out the stuff that they're doing. Her Game 2 is a great campaign. You can check out everything they're doing over on their socials. The Leicester City Women Supporters Club has some great plans this season. I hope you guys noticed their flags today at the ground. I know that we still have some stuff on the go, so it's super exciting. And yeah, we'll see you at the next game. We might see you before then. We will see you before then. We got something in the mix. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. Again, I'm so sorry if I was all over the place today. I'm still trying to process everything. And thank you, Austin. We'll see you guys next time.